Lately, I feel like God Goddess has been guiding me towards connecting with my power, connecting with my strengths, you know, and that looks like setting boundaries when it may feel uncomfortable, you know. That means expressing my truth, expressing my thoughts and my opinions, without fear, just really owning who I am, showing up fully, showing up unapologetically, showing up fearlessly. And I know that to be true because my reality is reflecting circumstances, people, situations that are guiding me and leading me to step into my power. And it's been a journey. It's been a beautiful journey. Some days, I may experience something that is a little uncomfortable, like setting a boundary, even if it feels uncomfortable. But I'm embracing getting comfortable with doing things that I know I need to do when it comes to protecting my peace and respecting myself and loving myself. Growing up, I didn't experience having a sister or, like a woman standing up for me. And I didn't have a woman on my corner that was, just giving me wisdom, you know, just supporting me and protecting me in the ways that I truly needed at the time. So today, in this present moment, and just moving forward in life, I've found ways to claim my power back, take my power back, own my power and embody it. When I was a kid and growing up, I was afraid to, own my power and speak my truth and set boundaries because, no one taught me, no one guided me, so I was just lost. But now I know who I am. I know who the fuck I am. I'm in a space now where I can fully say that I know who I am, and it feels really good to say that. And I'm also in a space now where I know that I can protect myself, and I can protect my daughter and my sister, the ways that I desired to be supported and as a kid, I give that to them. Just pouring into them spiritually, emotionally, giving them gems, giving them wisdom. I always tell my daughter and my sister, always speak your truth, even if it's uncomfortable. I teach them how to love themselves. You know, I share affirmations with them. We do mirror work. You know, I feel like it's my role to, I know that it's my role to be their protector, you know, and be their guide, especially as a woman. And I never wanted my daughter or my sister to grow up feeling lost or feeling powerless, feeling, you know, just feeling like they're afraid to tap into their power. My daughter is 6. And my sister's 8. And, you know, I know they're young, but I feel like it's still important that they know who they are, you know, and they're aware of their emotions, you know, and I just want them to be confident on their journey, wherever they are on their journey. I just want them to feel confident, even at a young age, because I was never confident at a young age. I feel like I actually started to love myself when after I had my daughter. That's when I started to awaken on my journey. And yeah, but pretty much I just want this message to, you know, activate and help any woman who's listening to this. You know, if it resonates, I hope that this, you know, helps you, supports you on your journey. And let this be a gentle reminder to, you know, set that boundary, even if it's uncomfortable. You know, you got to do what you got to do to protect your peace of mind. Your peace of mind is so sacred. You know, your peace of mind is how you manifest, you know, the beautiful dreams, the big dreams that you want. You got to have peace from within, you know, and also you got to start respecting yourself and loving yourself, you know, because like there's a lot of women out here who, you know, they want that relationship, they want to be rich, you know, they want all these things, but they haven't done the inner work. You know, they want this thing, they're trying to manifest this thing, but they still deal with self-sabotage. They still live in fear. They still people please. They still fear setting boundaries. They still fear speaking up for themselves. They fear speaking their truth. You got to master your emotions also. You know, some days you may experience, you know, happiness throughout the day. You may experience a great day, and then boom, a pendulum swings, and you know your day just ends up being upside down. You know, we have our moments. You know, some days we have our moments when we feel triggered. You know, we feel frustrated, stuff like that. But it's important that you take control of your life, take control of your experience while you're here by mastering your emotions. When you master your emotions, you become so powerful. And also, you can't let the outside noise, like people's opinions of you, you know, you may come across people, or you may have family members that criticize you and, you know, put you down. You know, you may be around people that aren't uplifting, and that can have an effect on you. So it's important to learn how to love yourself out loud, you know, But yeah, I hope this message inspires you to, take the action that you need to. All right. Yeah, that was on my mind this morning, and I was like, let me share this with the goddesses, because I know somebody is out there. I know there's a woman out there who wants to, set that boundary. Maybe you gotta pack up and move. Maybe you gotta quit that job. Maybe you gotta break up with that person. Maybe you gotta cut that family member off. Whatever it is that you know that you need to do. Because you know what you gotta do. Your gut never lies. So yeah, I claim that what I shared with you will transform your life in a beautiful and powerful way. Ashe. I'm sending peace, blessings, and goddess energy to all of you that are connecting with this message. Those that support me. I love you. Stay blessed.